So you've reached some level of success. You've got the job, maybe even the business, you've got the girl, you've got the car, you've got the house, maybe even the bank account, but something is still off. You should feel proud and accomplished, but instead you feel restless, you feel disconnected, you feel numb, you feel stressed, you feel anxious, and you feel like something's missing. You're not broken. You're just looking in the wrong place. Maybe you've ticked all the boxes. Maybe you've got a decent job and decent business. Maybe your bank account's looking all right. You've had the girls, you've had the cars, you've had the houses, but deep down, something still feels off. There's this void that's there. It doesn't matter how much you try and fill this void with external things, it will never get filled. I know, I spent a long time trying to fill a void with food. Doesn't matter how much you eat, you'll never fill that void. This silent void is what no one talks about, especially men. You're supposed to feel proud and grateful and satisfied, but instead, you feel like none of it is really hitting you. You feel like none of it is giving you that sense of fulfillment. And this is the trap when it comes to personal development. A lot of people get on this personal development hamster wheel thinking that they're doing things, reading books, getting all this knowledge, but they're not really getting anywhere. Now, if you're in this state, this isn't depression. This is the cost of living out of alignment. And so this video is going to be your wake-up call, not in a sense to call you out and for you to feel worse about yourself. It's a wake-up call to enlighten you to a new truth about yourself that's going to help you transform and transcend your current situation so then you can live a happy and fulfilled life. There is no coincidence that you're sitting here seeing this and watching this right now. So the aim is not to grind harder and to try harder and to do more things. The aim is to look deeper, because no amount of success will fill the space that your truth should fulfill. So in this video, we're gonna go deep, we're gonna go quick, and we're gonna find out why some of these things are under the surface that make you feel empty. Hey, it's Brendan, welcome to the video. Now, most men are sold a lie, that external success equals inner fulfillment. So they climb this ladder, trying to chase this next level and get pay rise and promotions and start the new business and make 50K, 100K, get that new monthly target, only to realize that it was leaning against the wrong wall. The world celebrates what you've done, but nobody asks you how you feel about it. This video is the truth that most men won't say out loud, but they feel it deeply. This is the reason why so many men still feel empty inside. I'm going to give you 5 reasons, and I'm also going to give you a solution for these 5 reasons. So I'm not just exposing them and then you're just going to be like, well, what do I do now? I'm actually going to give you a solution for all 5 of them, and number 5 is probably the most powerful. So number 1, you've built success on a false identity. Maybe you became someone you thought you had to be, but not really who you are. We see it all the time, especially when it gets passed down through our parents. Our parents might want us to do these certain things, and we go, oh, we listen to them and we get influenced by them, and then we start doing what we want. But then we get to a point where it's like, you know what, this isn't who we are, but we feel trapped and stuck because we've just spent so much time getting to this point. There's a lot of men out there who feel like they couldn't do anything else because they've built some level of success and they feel trapped. It's like if they stopped now, they would probably have to go back and start right back at the bottom again. They're not prepared to do that. Unfortunately, they're living a false identity. It takes courage to be the true version of you. It takes courage to be you. Everyone wants to be liked in this world. Everyone wants to be accepted for who they are, but no one is willing to be who they are. No one's actually willing to have the courage to be true to themselves all of the time. But people hold shame, guilt, and they don't want to allow their true self out. External image is internal fracture. If you don't need anything externally, you're a powerful man. Now, I'm not saying that it's not good to have those external things to add to your life, but they are there to add to your life, not make your life. This is the thing where a lot of people go wrong. So, what part of you did you abandon to become successful? That's a very powerful question. What part of you did you abandon to become successful? And so the solution to this one is to do some shadow work, to reclaim the pieces that you've buried. And so what I mean by this shadow work is like, what are these parts of you that you have abandoned? What are these parts of you that you've pushed to the side, that you've had to reject in yourself so you can become successful? We need to pull them out and bring them back to the surface and own those parts of us, and also own the parts that we've disowned or that we thought that we're not allowed to. So it's like the shadow work is, how do we get all of these things that we think that we can't be, how do we use them to help us become more successful? So how is doing these things that we've disowned or repressed or that we're not allowed to show going to help us feel more fulfillment? That's the question that we ask. So once you've gone through that shadow process, now I recommend going through all of these processes for all 5 of them, even if you feel like that one doesn't resonate with you. But you go through that. We're on to number 2 now. You're winning someone else's game. That's a big one. You're winning someone else's game. You've chased validation and not vision. You've built a life to impress others, maybe your parents, maybe society, maybe an ex-partner. I spent a long time in my life trying to get back at an ex-partner by trying to be quote unquote successful. Well, when I say a long time, maybe 12 months. This is before I got into this work, but I was like, this level of success, I'm gonna do this. And I bought a jet ski, and then I was like putting it around everywhere. And I'm like, really? That was nothing but just show. And it wasn't until now that I look back on that and I was like, I don't judge it. I'm just like, cool, that's what it is. But it just goes to show how easy we can fall into that. So I never asked myself, what do I actually want? You know, I had this image of success of what I thought I needed to have, but I never actually asked myself until more recently, what do I actually want in my life? And if you don't ask yourself that question, you're going to be living someone else's life. You're going to be helping someone else win their game, and you'll never find what's true and happy to you. So the solution to this one is to redefine success on your own term. It's your values. So what you need to go through is we'll go through and get your values. What's important to you in life right now? Get your values. Now, it's not how you live your values. Integrity is not a value. Integrity is how you live your values. So what are your actual values? Where do you spend your time? Where do you spend your money? What's on your mind all the time? Those are generally the values, the things that you can do. So when you find them, it's like, cool, how much of your time are you living in those values? And if it's a very short, small portion of time, you're probably going to be living a quite unfulfilling life. It's just reality. Whereas if you can then start fulfilling your values with your career, or also linking them together, you'll then be able to find out exactly how you can live a happy and fulfilled life and win your own game instead of winning someone else's game. So once you've gone through that second process, we go on to the third reason now that you've starved your inner world. You've fed your body, you've fed your wallet, but you haven't fed your soul. Your soul has been there, earning for you to light it up, but you've just neglected it. And it's not your fault, you just haven't been aware until now. So there's been no reflection, there's been no stillness, there's been no connection to something deeper. That emptiness that you feel, it's not failure, it's just a signal. I do Vipassana once a year, which is a 10-day silent meditation. All you do is you sit down and you meditate for 10 hours a day, no food, no talking to anyone else, no phones, nothing else. You just eat, sleep, meditate, essentially, for 10 hours a day, 10 days straight. It is the most peaceful and liberating experience. It's a little bit hard at the start, the monkey mind wanders. For people who haven't done a level of work, it's probably a lot harder. Like for me, I can sit there and 2 days into it, I'm just like, this is peace. I want to be a monk. This level of inner peace, inner freedom that you can get to, that's without any external things. Like you literally have nothing when you're there. You just have shelter, you have food, and you have your time to meditate. That's all there is. But it's the most peaceful and most happiest that I can be. So you don't need anything externally. Now, I'm not saying that you can't go after that stuff. Don't get me wrong, I want to have a big life, but I don't need it to change how I feel. I feel how I want to feel. The external world, I'm not perfect. There's always things that happen, but I have the ability to not let the external world affect how I feel. And when you have this, you're free. So the solution to this, if you've starved your inner world, is to build that space internally. Journal, do some breath work, sit with yourself, meditate. I always say the best way to know yourself is to spend time with yourself, by yourself. There's a reason that people become enlightened, whatever that means. I don't know, I've never been there. But they go and they sit in the bush for years. Buddha, I think, went away for 7 years, just sitting into the forest and didn't see anyone or anything and just meditated for that long. This is the thing. You don't have to go to that level. But the more that you spend time with yourself, by yourself, you journal, you breathe, you sit with yourself, you're then going to allow yourself to light up your soul and find what's really true for you and feel that inner peace and that inner happiness. And the external validation that you perceive that you need, you won't need that anymore because you'll feel more whole within. And this is the perfect way to lead on to number 4. You're addicted to achievement. Success becomes a drug. You need to feel more and you need to feel enough, but you can't sit still. It's like you've got to keep doing more. It's like you're a crackhead, but for success. It's like, no, I can't stop right now. And there's been times in my life where I've experienced this as well, where it's like every second I'm wasting time. I have to always be listening to something, or I have to be working on myself. I can't just lie in. I've got to do things. It becomes a drug. It's like you're a crackhead for that. You can't celebrate the wins. You get to one point and it's like, what's next? You don't see how far you've come. It's like you're always chasing, and the hustle becomes the avoidance of what's really going on. You don't want to understand and accept what's really going on. So you just keep hustling, grinding, and thinking that more and more is going to get to that point, and that's going to help. When we go within, we don't need to go without. So the solution to this is to find peace in the pause. It's very similar to the one before. But redefine rest as a resource for power. It's not weakness. This was a key thing in my life, to allow myself to be at ease and just relax. I remember Kerwin Ray, one of my first mentors, said to me once, when I first started the business, it was about 12, 18 months I was in the business. And I was like, man, I should be further ahead by now. I hadn't got to the level that I thought that maybe I should have been. And he said to me once, he was like, instead of saying that you have been going in business for 12 or 18 months, say you still have 5 years left, because on average, every business takes 7 to 10 years to make their first million. So you've got 7 years. And just instantly I was like, wow, I have so much longer. Like, I don't have to have it done now. Some people do, amazing. But it was instant. As soon as I let go of the pressure, I felt this relief come over me, and things started to progress forward in business, just because I didn't have the resistance to it being there. It's so powerful when we go within and we work out what's causing us, just the resistance that we're keeping things away that we think is actually helping us, which is actually causing resistance. So the rest is a source of power. Make sure that you allow yourself to recharge. I always use the story of the guy who was chopping firewood. There's one guy that just says, I can't stop, I've just got to keep chopping wood, and all day he was just kept chopping wood. But then there's the other guy who sat down and he'd chop for half an hour, and then he'd sit down and rest, and he'd eat and he'd drink his water, and then he would sharpen his axe. And then he'd get up and he'd hit it for another half an hour, and then he'd sit down again and he would sharpen his axe and he would rest. And then he kept doing that. And he chopped 3 times as much wood as the guy who just kept going flat out, because he got tired, he got drained. His blade was very blunt. It got to the point where it wasn't cutting very well, so he needed more effort, but he was more tired. And that's just a simple example. We fall into that trap and we don't realize. So allow yourself to rest. It's a source of power. It's not weakness. And once you've got to that point, it leads us to number 5, which, as I said, it's one of the most important parts. You're lacking brotherhood and depth. Having a group of men around you that's going to lift you to a higher standard is the number one thing that's going to get you to where you want to be. I can tell you that hands down. You are who you hang around with. If you don't have this support network with you, you're not going to fully reach that potential. Most men are lonely in a crowded room. You've got mates, but most men don't see you. Those mates that you think are mates, they don't see you fully. They don't know who you are fully. They maybe don't see your vision. They don't want to know about it. I had the same thing in my life. I had to let go of my high school friends. I had to go, you know what? This is what you want, but this is what I want. We're gonna have to part ways. Because I knew that me being there was not getting me to here. And I needed to surround myself with a brotherhood of men who were pushing me and lifting me to a higher standard. And so real connection isn't just laughs, it's about being witnessed in truth. It's about men holding you to a higher standard. So you can call up your friend and they might say, you might be having relationship issues. And so you call up your friend and they're like, oh, the partner did this, blah, 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 blah. And your mates be like, don't worry about her, let's go have a drink. Is that the type of mates that you want? Is that the type of brothers that you want? Or do you want someone to go, hey, you know, she's like your best friend, you guys do everything together. Are you really gonna let this little thing get between you? You know, it's fine, just go on with it. All is good. Which one of those friends do you want? And I'm sure some of them would say that they want that one. But if you want to be great, if you want to be super successful, you want men to help call you out, to lift you up to a higher standard and build that brotherhood. Inside of our programs, I didn't get this brotherhood. And so I'm building it. Like what I'm building inside of AMD is something that I never got. There's that saying, if you don't have it, build it. And that's exactly what I'm doing. So the solution to this is to build a brotherhood or to join one. Speak your truth, drop the mask, show up fully, and allow yourself to be lifted to a higher standard. If you don't have it, create it. It doesn't have to be something where you are helping them out. It could be a network where you all come together and you brainstorm or you mastermind and you connect and you lift each other up and you help find solutions and you call each other out to lift them up. That's the type of thing that you need. So just to recap these 5 reasons: you built success on a false identity, you're winning someone else's game, you've starved your inner world, you're addicted to achievement, and you're lacking brotherhood and depth. So whichever one of those is the one that resonated with you most, go through and get that solution and work through that solution that I gave you, and then move on to the next one. If you go through and you get all of these 5 solutions, your fulfillment in life will skyrocket. Fulfillment isn't just found in the next car or the next girl or the next paycheck. It's found in alignment and integrity with living true to you. The new flex isn't the stuff that you have. It's about being at peace. I always say, when you're at peace within, you're a success in every area of life. It's about waking up knowing that you're living your life, not performing in someone else's movie. You don't need more, you need more real. You need to stop chasing surface level wins and start building a life that truly matters to you, that truly feels like your own, that it lights you up. You jump out of bed every morning because you're like, this is my life, this is what I get to create, this is who I am becoming. Because the man who has everything but inner peace has nothing. Real fulfillment is quiet. It's not found in the next car, the next woman, the next title, the next business deal. It's not found in any of that. That can help you, that can feel good in the moment, but it's not true fulfillment. It's like if you get a new car, 2 weeks later, it's not new anymore. If you get a new house, 2 weeks later, it's not new anymore. So it's this level of fulfillment is built through alignment, it's built through self-respect, and it's built through truth. It's built through your own truth. And so if you're ready to stop performing and to start living, then check out some of the options we have to work together below. I'd love to be able to support you further in your growth and your evolution and welcome you into our brotherhood that we're creating here. We're building something different here. It's not just men who succeed, it's men who lead themselves fully. So drop down in the comments below what your biggest takeaway was, what's the one that you're gonna work on the most, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. You made it to the end of the video. You are the true top 1%. Now, don't forget to like and comment below what your biggest takeaway was. I love hearing that. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you liked. Tell me what you didn't like. The biggest insight, realization. I read them all and I like seeing what you got from this. Now, if you'd also like to grab my copy of my free ebook, 4 Rules Any Man Can Follow to Radically Transform His Life, click on the link down below in the description in this video. And if you love this video, you can check out some of the other videos on here, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.